Hello and welcome back to my informal Q&A where I take a question from one of your comments and answer it without thinking about it ahead of time or writing a script. If you want me to choose your question, then make sure you write it in the comments down below. Today's question comes from Michelle Quinn and she writes, I love your tutorials so much. Thank you, Michelle. My question is, how do you feel comfortable singing out loud and full on, both alone and in front of people? Thanks so much. Thank you, Michelle, for writing that question. I know that in a previous video, I talked about getting over stage fright, but I feel like the question that Michelle is asking has to do with both being on stage or just in a room with a couple of friends or family members. Both situations can be nerve-wracking. In fact, sometimes it can be more I feel like it can be more nerve-wracking to sing for just a few people, especially if they're people that you know, than it is to sing for a bunch of strangers on a stage. But the good thing is that whether you are singing on a stage for a bunch of people or in a room with just a few people, and whether you're singing to strangers or friends or family, the advice that I would give could apply to either situation. So for me, I definitely have had times throughout my journey as a musician where I felt awkward singing, not singing in general, but like singing my best. I think I would have this voice inside of me that would say a couple of things. One thing the voice would say is, don't show off, which is ridiculous because if you've been asked to play in either of those kinds of settings, of course you should show off. You should give your best. But I would get kind of closed up and I'd feel like if I give my best, if I show off, people are going to think that I'm showing off. It doesn't make any sense really. I think it's just this weird thing that our brains tell us. The second thing that I would hear inside my head would be something like, don't sing to your fullest because you don't want to mess up. You don't want to look stupid. You don't want people to think you're giving your best and then you fail. Now, even though those thoughts are somewhat different from each other, you know, the fear of failure versus the fear of looking like you're showing off, they actually both fall under the same fear, which is the fear of what other people will think about me. So what I learned to do over time was to eliminate that fear. Of course, I still care and will always care about what people think of me as a performer, but I had to lower how much I cared about that, and I had to raise what are my intentions behind performing. Is my intention behind performing to receive praise? Or is it to put a message out there with my song? If my intention is to receive praise, it's almost impossible to not care about every aspect of my performance and what people are thinking about it. If people don't like my performance, if they don't like my voice when it's full on and loud, well then I'm not gonna get praise, therefore I'm gonna feel all insecure about it and worried about it. But if my intention falls more in line with I want to put a message out there, then the cool thing is that you can mess up, you can forget some words, you could sing out loud and your voice could crack and your message could still get out there. It might not have been delivered the perfect way that you would have liked for it to be, but God can use imperfect to spread a message. And honestly, sometimes people are drawn to imperfections when they're looking to receive a message, or even if they're not looking to receive a message. So again, let's say that you're in a room full of people. You've been asked to play a song that you wrote. Let's say that the song you wrote has a message that other people can relate to. Right before you play the song, set your intention and say, my intention here is to help these people experience the message that I'm trying to give through this song. Yes, I would like to sound my best. Yes, I would like to not mess up, but that's not why I'm here and that's not why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for praise. I'm doing this for the sake of spreading a message. And I think that the more you focus on that, the less you'll worry about what people think, you know, what you're gonna sound like and if you mess up or not. Now, another technical thing that you could apply to your music in order to help you feel more comfortable when you're performing is practicing. The more you practice something before the performance, the less you're going to worry about if you mess up. Will you still mess up? Maybe. I've messed up plenty of times, even with tons of practice. It's going to happen. So you have to remove the fear of messing up. Instead of focusing on, will I mess up? Will people think poorly of me? Put all of your focus into, I'm going to practice, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to spread a message. If I mess up, that's okay. And I think that the more you change your self-talk into positivity and encouragement rather than negativity and fear, ultimately the better you'll do. I know that I've done this with myself and I've seen a tremendous difference in the way that I perform when I incorporate these mentalities. The mentality of I'm here to spread a message versus I'm here to perform and get praise, and also the mentality of I don't want to mess up, so I'm going to practice my hardest, but if I do mess up, I will have still given my best, and me messing up doesn't mean that the message won't be spread. So Michelle, and to anyone else who's watching, I hope that these take some pressure off of you when it comes to performing. Again, if you have a question that you would like for me to answer, I'll be doing this once a week, so make sure you leave your questions in the comments down below. You can also leave questions for me on my Instagram, which is dylan.laine. Until next time, remember to play, write, and spread the light.
Joy comes for free, oh, it's living inside of me, dancing through